Well, they're racing right now in Florida and Georgia and places like that, and soon all that stuff's going to start to make its way north. But before we get to that point, there's a series of car shows. I love the car shows. I love the ones at malls, especially because that's a situation where people who wouldn't normally stumble into, say, the New York State Fairgrounds for motorsports, they're not going to go to the big show in Philly by accident, but people will be coming to Fingerlakes Mall on the weekend of March 18th and 19th, and when they get there, they're going to see race cars of all different kinds. The man who makes that happen is Robert Goodell. I'm going to check and make sure that I said his name right. He's been doing Sampson No Prep for 3 years. This is his second year sponsoring Speedworld 2023. Robert, did I get it right? Is it Goodell or how do you say it?
Oh, it's Goodell. You got it right.
All right. First of all, before we get going, I wanted to thank Robert personally for helping me out when I had all my kidney stuff last year. He had gone through it himself, and he was very encouraging. So before we get to business, Robert, thank you for your time on that. I really do appreciate it.
Definitely, anytime.
Yeah, well, hopefully we won't have to do that again. So,
right.
Big announcement coming on the Saturday of this show. Can you tease us a little bit at all, or no?
I don't know. You know, we I don't know how I want to open that door. I guess.
Okay.
You know, it's my third year running Sampson there. I've been around racing of all kinds my whole life, and drag racing is sort of something that's always really grabbed a hold of me. So we're gonna bring back local drag racing to a track that shut down 8 years ago. We're coming back there. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, that's a good tease right there. I like that, actually. By the way, what he's talking about with no prep, if you've seen those drag shows on TV where they're out in some runway or something like that, basically it's just without all the stuff that would happen at a drag strip. It's what's the best way to describe it?
Organized street racing.
So if you do like that kind of stuff, and again, we do not encourage you to do that stuff on the streets. Do it stuff like that Rob does. He did 9 events in New York State, 1 last year in North Carolina. So what's involved? Like, let's say somebody has an old Fox body Mustang that they like to have fun with. How could they come out and have some fun with you?
Well, you know, it sort of depends on what class you fall in, and something like that would probably classify into the street class. You know, it all depends on what the car is. Of course, it's organized street racing, so the rules are very limited. I don't infringe a lot of rules. We try to keep it pretty simple. You know, a street car is exactly that, just a street car, something you drive every day. And then we go up to a small tire class, which is any tire smaller than a 28, 10.5 or smaller. And then we have a big tire class, which is any tire bigger than that.
And some of those are probably actual race cars, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Most of the big tire cars and for the large amount of the small tire cars are are race cars. They are drag cars that you would typically see at a drag strip. We actually draw a lot of guys that typically bracket race or run at a drag strip. They seem to come out. You know, it's definitely a different world than drag racing, as just more intense, more in your face.
What percentage of the contestants do you think would actually drive their car to the track?
Oh, we have a large. I mean,
more
for
than
the
half.
Street class, yeah, I would say definitely.
Okay, so if you're interested in stuff, how can they find out more before we get to the Speedworld show? How can they find out more about how to get their car out to one of your events?
You can look us up on, you can Google us, Sampson No Prep, SAMPSON No Prep. You can look us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the social media pages. We're there. If you Google us, you'll come up with our website. You'll find us on there, and you'll see our upcoming schedule. So, or you can come to Speedworld March 18th and 19th, and you'll see us there. We have a lot of cars coming to that'll represent Sampson No Prep, and you'll see what it's all about.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking at, by the way. These are pictures from last year's show. So we've got dirt cars, we've got street cars, we've got drag cars. And the one thing I watched for a little bit last year was the RC Demo Derby. You just can't tear yourself away from that, can you?
No, it is amazing. This year we actually have an underground RC from Syracuse. He's coming. He's going to host No Prep drag racing. He's going to host a circle race with the RC cars and a drift competition with the RC cars. That RC stuff has really gotten big, and I'm glad to have him on board this year. Seems like we'll grab a lot of people just for that.
Yeah. And of course, we lost Ken Block there just a little while ago.
Yeah.
The man really, when you think about drifting and that whole style of racing, he's pretty much been the poster boy all along. So I'm sure some people will be remembering him. Also, a lot of the quarter midgets, microds, stuff who want to get their kids started early. This is also a great way to find out at this show, isn't it?
It is. You know, and that's how I'm sort of promoting it this year is, you know, if you want to get into motorsports of any kind, this is the time to come. Whether you want to buy a car or you want to race a car, you know, the microd clubs really have a great program where you pretty much rent a car for a time, and sort of get your kid in it to make sure they like it before you go spend their college fund on a car. And, the other side of the show is if you want to sponsor a race at your local track,
Yes.
your business is really, really booming, but you think you can do a little bit better if you can reach people and, you want to sponsor a race at a track or you want to sponsor a driver. This is the time to come talk to the promoters of that track or talk to the drivers, firsthand and get a feel of what that all entails.
Nostalgia racing is big. Butler Dragway, they will be there again?
I believe so.
And that's pretty cool because these are all cars. I'm not sure the exact date. I believe it's 25 years and older, but a lot of cool stuff. Plus, there'll be all kinds of stuff you can buy. Are they going to have some people there selling like memorabilia and merch and stuff like that?
Yes, there'll be a lot. We have vendors this year as well. We have a swap
cool.
meet. We have just a lot going on. I've added a lot to the show. Last year was pretty successful. I feel that we grabbed a lot of people, but I think this year we can double it. That's my goal. We're trying to get twice as amount of people in the show. That's why I'm adding everything that we are. We have live music Saturday from noon till 5. We have John LaManna, Nick Giovanni, all coming to do live music, and we're just trying to add stuff as we go and just make it as big as we can.
That's awesome. Am I missing anything, Robert?
No, I don't think so.
All right. And again, we're going to get out and see Robert this year. It's just last year with my back and everything else, it was a tough year. I didn't get to do as many events as I wanted, but I really want to see this snow prep drag racing in person. Excuse me. Is it just like what we see on TV pretty much in the Street Outlaws and that kind of stuff, or is it different?
No, it's pretty similar to that. We actually get guys, a large amount of guys that have been on that show.
Really?
They actually come up. So, yep.
And I know every now and then they will actually go to a drag strip, but I understand they don't like their ETs up on the screens,
no,
right?
They don't. Right. Call that no time.
Okay. You ever thinking about? Well, of course, I'm going somewhere where we said that the announcement's coming, so I'm not even. I was going to go down that road a little bit, and I said, no, don't do that. So,
well, what were you going to say?
Well, I mean, do you look at something like that somewhere down the road where you're actually at an actual racetrack, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all he
and
needs.
actually, we have my first event of the year that I'm a part of is it's at Harrell's Dragway in Wilmington, North Carolina, or Harrell's, North Carolina, which isn't far from Wilmington. That's the March 3rd and 4th this year.
Very good. So there you go. There's your answer right there, guys. Again, this is coming up on the 18th and 19th. Speedworld 2023 at Fingerlakes Mall in Auburn. No, you don't need to pay to get in. Just go out there and obviously partake in the local merchants and all that and everybody around there. But, Robert, good to talk to you again, man, and I wish you all the best. I'll make sure I see you on that day.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Hit the blue E, guys. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. We shared this with Robert, so for all you guys in the no prep side, make sure you share it too.